Welcome back to Cottage Tranquility. In this particular episode, we're looking at fruit and wood stacking, and not fruit stacking, but wood stacking and fruit harvesting preparation, and some other bits and bobs that I got up to along the way. Hope that you enjoy. And at this point, it's kind of more of a diary, kind of a video diary, rather than a sort of a how-to. Although I'm hoping that I'll be able to come back to you with some how-tos. Currently I'm working on my art and getting that up to scratch, and also I have finally purchased and received, which is the important thing, some machinery for the garden, so I've got to build those and put those together. But I also have an awful lot of paperwork to be cracking on with, so that's what I'm going to be doing today. But you'll see that in a future episode, probably 3 or 4 down the line. Any hoodle. God, that seems to be my word recently, I've noticed. I hope you enjoy. Wowzers, so first rain in a week, and it is a bit mad out here. I'm currently waiting for a tractor to turn up carrying a load of wood. Currently 11:15. I've looked after the guests, done their breakfasts and cleared away, and just waiting for the wood to arrive. Gosh, just to give you an idea, hammering it down. And my washing is out. No, I'd forgotten all about my washing. Oh well. It's just beach towels and it'll dry. Panic ye not. Do feel for my guests though. They're supposed to be going out cycling today. They've just gone out. Let me absolutely getting drenched. At least we have one sensible cat, Aslan. Unlike your brother, who's out in it still. Let's hope it's had its fun and the clouds are moving away. Let's hope. I said I had a sensible cat, Aslan. What are you doing in the flower bed? I know there's some of your fluff down there, but you cannot grow another you. I take it that this is in his way. He's a special boy sometimes. Very special boy. Here we go. Wood delivery by tractor. So when your wood gets delivered, this is how it gets delivered. So my job now is to go and put on my boots and to get this, which is 2 cubic metres of wood, in there. Oh, fitness levels. I hope I still have you. Best to get it into the dry so it can start its process ready for winter. Basically, it's an awkward shaped game of Tetris. Well, my lovely, as you can see, it is building up there on the old wood pile. If I get myself out of the way. But yeah, still lots to do, so I'm stopping for a quick brew. My cauldron. Seriously, with my witch's brew, maybe I am a witch. Because I am melting as I'm running down my face in rivulets at the moment. Whew. Certainly going to have earned myself a decent shower. Oh God, hiccups as well. Yay for everything! Oh, I look like a tomato. Yay! Right. Mini tea break over. So I've been using my chainsaw gloves to pick up all the wood. I've stacked it all in here. It's 2 deep and quite high. That is probably about 3 steers. So I had 2 steers delivered and I had probably 1 already here. So that's all of that. Plus what I do is I sort things. So any of the little bits get put into these baskets for kindling because they're much easier to burn, smaller pieces. So they're quite good to go on the bottom. And again, I keep all of that there. So I'm going to just have a sweep up in a second just to clear the floor a little. But yeah, I have a feeling that getting the other 4 steer that I've said that I want to take in here will leave it very tight. Bearing in mind that's 3 steers there. I think it's going to bring it out to just a tiny walkway where this pallet is, but I want to make a new gate post out of that. I need to get myself a crowbar to try and take those apart sensibly, or at least borrow one from somebody, and see what I can do, see what I can make, and cement in the old fence post that's supporting it all. So that is on my to-do list, as are the volet doors. But yeah, all takes time and money. But the good thing is money is starting to come in, and we have bookings. We have fully booked at the moment, and there are more bookings on the cards taking us up to the end of the month. So hopefully stuff will start to come through soon for September, and that will really, really help. And it does seem to be a mixture at the moment of holiday makers and people working in the area. So yeah, it's all good. So yeah, time to go and do something a little bit different and work out all the things that I need to do, because I also need to collect all the fruit so I can make jams and potentially home brews. Move to the country, they said. It's a quiet life, they said. You know, not much to do, just chill out. No, between room turnarounds, wood stacking, DIY jobs on the house, fruit picking, brewing, making jams, making cakes, I don't think I have time for a social life. Certainly no time to sit down and relax, although I'm going to have to because this is going to hurt. Well, it is 1 o'clock, so I managed to handball 2 steers of wood in less than 2 hours, because got here about 11 and I have done that, come in and had a shower as well. So nice refreshing change. But blooming hot though. So hot. So I'm going to just chill out for a minute, cool down, might even have an ice cream. Think I've earned it. But yeah. Loving life. It might be non-stop busy here, but it's a physical kind of busy, and it's really, really lovely. Well, it's changeover day today, and I've sorted out breakfast for my guests, and they're hopefully enjoying that now. And a bit later I will be clearing their room and cleaning it all down in readiness for guests tomorrow. But in the meantime, I've been catnapped whilst I enjoy my cup of tea. So it's still early, not awake yet. But been out, got bread for the guests, and yeah, I've been doing some bits and bobs that I need to do around here in readiness for hopefully a visit from the Mayor's office. Whether it's the Mayor or not, I don't know. I'm not sure when they're going to arrive. I have said to them that I was free yesterday and today. Not heard a dicky bird. I'm hoping they're actually going to make a meeting so I can at least have something here for them to eat. And yeah, hopefully that will all go well. So today I've had a bit of a morning, and I don't know if you can see that. I've given myself a quite nasty bash on the arm there from falling off my ladder whilst I was up this tree trying to get some plums out of it. So we now come up with a different cunning solution on top of obviously asking for help and getting somebody to come and help me. and they'll be turning up shortly. But in the meantime, because I'm an impatient what's-it, one has found a cunning plan. So on some of the smaller branches, I can hook this over, and as a result, I can pull the plums off of the little branches using what is effectively my old mop. So just using that end to get them. So let's see if we can give that a go. Such a shame that some of them are so high up, I'm not sure that even with the broom that I'm going to be able to get them, but let's have a go. No. Right, okay, so this is going to possibly be a job for all sorts. I mean, these ones are all rotten in on the branches. There's going to be a lot of pruning back to be done on this tree this year. Prune, and then I'll have fruit wood for fires. Right, what can I reach? So here we go, let's give it a go. Pop! Oh, such a shame. So many of these have already been had. Celebi should have been out here earlier capturing them, but it's just been so busy. Now for the apples, they're a lot much closer to the ground, and we've got lots of lovely blackberries growing in amongst them, which just goes to show blackberry and apples go so good.
You're a very happy cat, aren't you? Yes. Oh, yummy, strawberry ice cream. You're a spoiled cat. I know that much, Aslan.
Well, it is Sunday morning, and it looks like it's going to be another glorious day today. It is currently 7:30 in the morning, and I am shortly to go out and get breakfast for my guests. So there we go, there's the car, just waiting for me. But yeah, it is due to be something ridiculous like 39 degrees here today. So there'll be no fruit picking for me today. Today, after my guests go, I'll be stripping their rooms and cleaning them ready for the next set of guests. But hopefully that won't be too much work today, because yeah, it's going to be mad this afternoon heat-wise. So hopefully I can do all of that heavy work tomorrow morning before it gets hot and my next guests arrive. Today is crazy hot outside, so it's about 40 odd degrees at 6 p.m. And so I've been sat here chopping and peeling fruit. As you can see, I've still got a massive bowl of fruit to go, and so I need to crack on and get on with that. But basically I've been chopping, peeling and putting into freezer bags so that I can put it in there and use it for baking come autumn, or even when it's just a little bit cooler. So that, at the moment all the shutters are drawn, so it's quite dark in here except for the north facing window in the dining room. But yeah, everything else, shutters drawn where at all possible, and wearing most ridiculously light clothes that I can find, because just standing up, melting. At least I have a stone cottage which stays relatively cool, and keeping the shutters across does also help keep the worst of the heat out, so it's all good. So today I am de-stoning and washing these mirabelles and plums, and I started and I thought, right, let me film just to show you what we're starting with. Starting with this, and we end up with those, and then they go into the freezer to make jam with later because it's far too hot today. As today it is 41 degrees out there, And really, I am an idiot for going out in it, but I had suddenly realised, much to my dismay, that I had put a load of plums in the workshop in a bucket and I hadn't done anything with them. And then when I went out there, I had also done something else foolish. I had managed to put a bag or something heavy on top of the buckets in which they were in. I don't remember doing it, but I must have done it the other day when a friend came round to help collect other fruit for themselves. And yeah, it squished and crushed all the stuff that was there. So that was a waste, which is a real shame, but it's gone up the compost heap. In the meantime, I've just rinsed these off and just pulling the flesh off and pulling the seeds out, stones, chuck them back in the pot. Some of these will be a bit easier than others. Tell you what, these plums are much easier to do than the Mirabelles. The Mirabelles are so fiddly. Quite happy doing these. Anyhoodle. This means that come winter, I can make jam for next year. And I've got some lovely guests at the moment, Leslie and John, who used to live out here, now back in the UK. And they've been giving me, certainly Leslie has been giving me tips on how to make jams and things. Because I've made jam probably once in my life before, not with plums. And so I thought, do you know what? I will take whatever advice I can get and that will help me. Anywho, I'll crack on with this and I'll show you a bit later. Oh, and I also went blackberry picking this morning. So yeah, there's some more of those in the freezer as well. So I can make blackberry and apple crumbles later in the year as well. Hurrah! So first bag of halved stoned Mirabelles. Not sure it's going to make me much jam, probably about half a jar once it's all sweated down, but might get a couple of jars this year out of it all. But there's also a bag of plums and various other things, so might do some mixed fruits, we'll see. As the sun goes down over Cottage Tranquility, just sat here enjoying a lovely fire pit with the sounds of the rabble of the birds who are currently enjoying the bamboo canes. I think predominantly because there are blackberry brambles running through them. I think they're quite possibly enjoying eating those and squabbling over them, as well as a lot of other fruit that has been falling to the floor. And there, just beyond the trees, is Luna, the beautiful moon. And to my left is beautiful Aslan and beautiful Baba Byrne. Yeah, as always, keeping their mama company. We'll sit here until this goes out. Though I might have to pop inside to put the light on. For myself and my guests. This is this morning's harvest of blackberries. They've just had a quick wash. I'm just going to weigh them, see what we've got. Well, that's 9 3/4 ounces there. And there are loads more out there. So I'm going to keep picking those and see how we get on. And for those that work in grams rather than pounds and ounces, let's just pour these in. So 9 3/4 ounces equates to 277, 278 to 277 grams. There we go. So they are all going to be popped into the freezer, ready for crumbles and pies and jams. And at the moment we are doing this daily. Being a novice gardener, and I mean novice like I have no clue what most things are, this is definitely lavender though. I'm going to take some cuttings. I've been learning a bit about it, and apparently it's due to be cut back soon, and when I do, I'm supposed to cut it back to not as far as the woody stuff. So if it starts getting woody, then that's too much. Now, some of the things I've read are about taking lavender and repotting it to grow, and you should do that in the springtime. Now, it is the height of summer, it is the end of August, and as I've got to prune it anyway, I thought, well, why don't I try? Let's just see if I can take some of it and pot it up and see if I can grow any plants for next year. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to take a few cuttings, got my trusty secateurs, and we're going to give that a go before the day gets too hot, because it is bonkers here today. It's going to be in the 40s. So yeah, here we go. So here we are with my bunch of lavender. Worst case scenario, I'm going to end up with dead sticks in a bucket in the soil. But I've never been good at following instructions and doing as I'm told, and I'm pretty sure lavender's the same. So my plan is I'll plant that up. I'll show you that in a second. And it looks like I'm going to have a bumper crop off of this plant when I crop it back for the winter of beautiful smelling lavender for the place. So that'll be fantastic. Something else at the moment, it is so ridiculously hot that, yes, the doors and the volleys have been closed like so in order to keep the majority of the sun out but some air coming through. Because yeah, it is bonkers out there. But it is still quite nice here in the cottage. Now, this is a lovely north-facing window, so it doesn't get the sun at all, and that means that I can leave that open, getting some fresh air throughout. You can see I've cleared away. I've washed the table and I've washed the mats. That's my next job when I come back in, is to relay the table ready for breakfast tomorrow for my guests who have now gone out for the day. So kitchen is all nice and clean, everything's washed up. Off we go. Now as the sun comes round, I will have to shut the volleys on the kitchen as well, so that'll be pull two. But, oof, there is an Aslan cat. Hello, darling. You beautiful boy. I've just filled up the watering can. Very fortunate. My water butt is absolutely to the brim, even though I've been using it. So, not sure how that works, but I'm not going to question it. I know a lot of people have been saying that they're running out of outdoor water sources. So, yeah. I think at some point I would quite like to dig up the garden and bury some as well, so that I can collect rainwater and use that, become a bit more self-sufficient off-grid. Now, coming into what is becoming my potting shed, really. You can see the chilies and the tomatoes have been planted out. They are late. I mean, they've been growing but doing nothing. So I have potted them up, and some herbs and stuff and things that were in little pots. They may or may not turn into anything, but if we don't try, we don't know. In this one, I have actually followed instructions for a change, and I have potted in some rhubarb seeds ready for the season. They are to be potted around August, September time, and apparently they like nice deep soil. Well, I've got a fairly deep pot there. I don't want it going mad in the garden yet. I haven't got a vegetable plot yet, so maybe in future they'll go out there. But for now, rhubarb in a pot, that's what we're going to go for. And the pot next to it, this one here, is where I plan to put all my lavender. So let's give this a go. What I have been told is, online, is that a lot of the energy, which makes sense, goes into the flowers. So I'm going to strip off a lot of that. I'm going to pop that into a little container because we can always use that indoors. So we're going to leave ourselves with a little bit on the top there. I have moistened the soil already and I'm just going to pop that in. What you can see here is first one in, and I'm going to do exactly the same with all the rest. Then add some more soil and water it in and see how that goes. So there we have some potted cuttings. Don't know whether they'll take. Oh, and the other thing is those that I didn't manage to put into the bucket there, I am going to put in water, strip them back and put them in water in the house and see if I can get them to grow shoots that way. So we'll see how things go. Now this method is slightly different in as much as it's water and you're just suspending them over it. Now at the moment I've put these in, it's far too deep, that will rot. What I need to do is just put it so it's just at the right height for that. So what I'll do is I will make sure that I snip them all to the right height, and I'm just at the moment putting them in so I get to see where they are wet till. So yeah, just stripping off the excess. That'll give me some lovely lavender seeds to dry out. And then leaving a little bit of the heads on there just so they don't fall straight through the wire. So here we are with what I've taken off to dry, so I'll put that aside. And then taking this, I will just lift this gently out of here. Hopefully this will work. I may have to fish some of these back out. Let's just see. Let's just snip where the water line has come. Snip. I don't know if you can see. Turn it that way. So they're just about touching the water there. And so I shall go and put those on the window ledge. And that hopefully should encourage them to grow. So thank you once again for joining me. Hope you thoroughly enjoyed that episode. And just seeing what I get up to here now as life begins to settle. The months are moving on. We are in September now. And I am planning on doing various bits and pieces inside the house. Work here with bookings is still going on, but there are less of them now we're outside of the summer season. But Cottage Tranquillity is open pretty much all year round, apart from some time that I take off for spending for recuperation and maybe family visits and things like that. So yeah, if you are looking to come and stay in the Charente, if you are looking to come and house hunt maybe, I know I did when I was looking. I came out for like 3 weeks at a time. Well, I do long bookings here. The rooms are bed and breakfast, but you do have full use of the kitchen and you have your own dining room here, guest dining room, which is just shared with the other guests that may be staying. But I'm separate from that. But yeah, you'll see me flitting about the place, cooking and doing bits and bobs. And just generally doing upkeep of the property. Hope you're having a wonderful day. I'll see you all again soon.